Hello everyone. In this video I explain how you can create an interactive digital notebook using Google Slides, and this video does not contain any background music. The first thing you want to do is you're going to create a Google Slide document, and once you have this loaded, you are going to go ahead and resize the Google Slide presentation so that it looks like the page of an actual notebook. In order to do that, you'll click on File, Page Setup, and we're going to alter the dimensions of this presentation. So we're going to click on Custom, and then we are going to change the dimensions so that it basically corresponds with a page or letter, I guess, size, 8.5 by 11 inches. All right, so now that we have this in the correct dimensions, we're going to get rid of any text or titles that we don't really need. And then we are going to rename our presentation. Next, I'm going to be adding background images from a template that I've already created using Canva. You are more than welcome to use this template. I will include it in the description box below, or you can create your own on the Google Slide itself using the different options that exist here. So it does provide things like text boxes that you can use to add titles, and then you can basically customize these titles using the different options of fonts and the different formatting options that are present on Google Slides. So here I am creating a title, like a text box to include any titles, and then another text box that will include any additional information. Basically, since this is like a actual notebook, the students can have a copy of this, a template of this, where they can then alter the title, and then they can add any notes that they would like depending on the subject, depending on the day, underneath in the text box that you've already created for them. Another thing you can utilize is the Explore option, which is found in the bottom right hand corner of the Google Slide page, and you can go ahead and search for different images or illustrations that you can add to the digital notebook to make it more customized, to make it look a little bit more professional. My recommendation is that when you search for a specific image, you include the word PNG next to that image, because then it will give you the image without any background, and this will look a lot more seamless on your page. Now, as I mentioned, I've already created a template of a digital notebook that I am planning on using with my students, and I've included the link to that template in the description box below. You are more than welcome to make a copy for yourself and use it in your own digital notebooks. And then I'm going to be showing you now how you can actually customize this template that I've already created so that you can, add more to it, you can edit it, and you can just make it work for your individual subject or the activities that you would like to give to your students. So the first thing that I wanted to include in the digital notebook template is a title page. On this title page, I included the name of the course and then a place for the students to write in their name. So every student would receive a copy of this template, and then they can go ahead and go in and edit certain aspects of this digital notebook. So the name would be something that the students will edit. Then underneath the name of the student, there will be a space for that includes either the name of the unit, the name of the topic, and the year. All of these fields are customizable. So basically, if you teach a different subject than bio, then you can change the name of the subject and then give it to your students with the new subject name. So again, I made this template customizable so that you can make any changes you would like. The only thing that you cannot change are the background images, because I created those on a different program, which is Canva. The second page in my digital notebook template is a generic, post-it type page. And This can be great for adding instruction. So let's say you're giving your students an activity in their digital notebooks. This could be the page that goes before the activity where you will include the instructions or the directions for the activity that will come on the next page. The third template is just a blank page. I've included a text box at the top where students can add the topic or the date, and down here they can be instructed to add a text box, or you can add a text box for them where they can then type either the notes for the day, or let's say you have a prompt question, they can answer that in the space provided. Now, again, this is a very generic template, and you can add whatever extra features to it depending on your own subject or the assignment that you're trying to use this template for. The next page in the template is very similar to this page, but it includes less graphics, I guess, and it's just a lot more plain. Again, we all have different preferences, so I wanted to include both options in this template. So let me show you an example of how I would use this template and how I would customize it for a specific activity. Since I teach biology, I have my students basically fill in something known as a claim evidence reasoning form, or a claim evidence reasoning graphic. This is a graphic that is very reoccurring in my coursework, meaning that the students are expected to do this pretty much throughout the entire year. So what I can do is I can include a copy of a claim evidence reasoning graphic in their digital notebooks, so that when I give them a copy of the digital notebook at the beginning of the year or the semester or the unit, they already have a copy of a claim evidence reasoning graphic like this one, and all they would have to do is make copies of it every time they would need to do a claim evidence reasoning activity. So to create this, it's very simple. I just use the features that are on Google Slide. I change the title. I then change the title size and the font. When it comes to choosing fonts for headings, I like using Luckiest Guy or Impact. Both of these fonts are very bolded and they look great as headings. Next, I will be creating the graphic boxes that are present in this organizer. In order to do this, I'm going to select one of the shapes. I'm going to be using the second shape. So the, I guess, rounded rectangle. Next, I'm going to be adding the different titles or headings inside the box. I also want to fix the alignment so that the word claim can be found at the top of the box and students have more space to write within the box itself. And of course, I'm going to be changing things like the font size, the font itself, and finally any other editing that I want to add, such as color. Once I'm happy with the first element of the graphic organizer, all I have to do now is just make copies of it, since the other two sections, or the other two parts of this claim evidence reasoning graphic, look pretty much identical. Another commonly used activity is creating a KWL chart. So as you can see, I used one of the template pages in order to add the instructions for students to read on how they can do a KWL chart or complete this activity. And next, I'm going to be using the rest of the template in order to create an actual graphic for students to use. Again, this graphic, since it's commonly used in my classroom, I would include it as a template in the digital notebooks that I would provide students with at the beginning of the year, term, week, whatever. And then I would instruct them to simply create copies of this template every time they would need to make a fill in a KWL chart. So instead of them creating a KWL chart every time, I simply have this template, this graphic created for them. So in order to create a KWL chart, it's again very simple. We're using the shapes that exist on Google Slides. And same thing as the previous graphic, I'm adding headings and I'm just changing the font and fixing the alignment so that the K can go all the way up, and I'm going to be centering it so that it's in the center. Next, I'm simply going to be creating copies of the same graphic that I've just created so that we can do the W and the L. I changed the color of the different sections so that it's more clear for students. And I then changed the font of the text that the students would basically fill in for each section. Now, one question that I got a lot is, what if I want to add assignments, or what if I want to add pages to an interactive notebook that I've already created and assigned to students? Is that possible? Now, unfortunately, there's no direct way or easy way to do that. The only way that I could find is through an add-on such as Slip and Slide. Using an add-on like that, you can add slides to pre-existing presentations or notebooks that you've already assigned to students. For this reason, it might be beneficial to create smaller notebooks that you would assign for a specific topic, for a specific week, for a specific unit, or even a specific activity, rather than creating one notebook with all the resources already included and that you would assign at the beginning of the year for the entire year. Because you never know what kind of activities you might want to add later. Now, for me, I think I will be doing this, or I will be basically creating a digital notebook per topic, and I will include any templates of reoccurring assignments or activities such as KWL charts, claim evidence reasoning, or even graphic organizers that I know students will use more than once in the digital notebook for that specific topic. And then once that's assigned, each student will have a copy of that digital notebook with activities that are reoccurring that they can simply make copies of. So the template is there for them, and then all they have to do is create copies of that template. Every time I would ask them to fill in a claim evidence reasoning chart or a KWL chart or whatever the activity is. So how I like to think about this is it's as if you have, you know, when you're sitting there planning for the unit or planning for the topic, you already know what activities and what worksheets you would give to students, and you might even have them photocopied and ready on your desk or in your cabinet so that when the students do certain activities, you would have these worksheets ready for them and they're already photocopied. So it's the same kind of concept here. You already have it all collectively in a digital notebook in one assignment, so that instead of students submitting 10 assignments for that topic, they can just submit one digital notebook with everything inside of it. And that way you only have to grade one assignment with everything inside of it. And since this digital notebook is easy to kind of edit and customize, and students can always go in and make edits, make changes depending on your feedback, there will always be that back and forth conversations that you could have with your students through this notebook. Since your digital notebooks will include templates for activities that the students would need to do, it is useful to label the template slides that you've created and included in the digital notebook for them so that students know not to delete them. That way, when they're asked to make a copy of the template activity that you've included in their notebook, it's already there and it's always there. Next, I'm going to be showing you how you would assign a digital notebook. Now, again, in terms of how often should you do this, that's going to be up to you, and it depends on your course. In order to assign it, you're going to create an assignment and you're going to label it digital notebook or whatever a title that you choose. And then you're going to be adding from your Google Drive the notebook that you've created. It is super important and crucial that you change the settings from student can view file to make a copy for each student. That way, each student has a copy of the notebook that you've created so that they can go in, edit, and basically fill in the assignments that you've included for them. In terms of due date, again, that's going to be up to you. You might not want to make this notebook due ever. That way you can continuously add feedback to the students about their digital notebooks, about their assignments, and then return it back to them so that they can make any changes or edits, especially if that's something you like doing in your classroom. A great way to stay organized with your notebooks is to assign them to a specific topic, or you can even create a separate topic that you will call digital notebooks so that the students have all their digital notebooks under one topic and it's right there for both them and for you to find. Alright, so I hope you found this tutorial useful. Again, apologies for the loud background music in the original video. The link to the original video, just in case you want to see that one if you haven't, is in the description box. I will also include the link to the template in the description box, and any other useful links that you might need. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.